Hey guys, KeyXF here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the HK Gaming Galaxy 75 mechanical keyboard, and I've been pretty excited to show this one off, so let's just get right into it. Starting off with basic design, the Galaxy 75 is a bare-bones 75% mechanical keyboard, meaning it has no switches and keycaps, and it comes with a silver aluminum plate. The case is black in color and also made of aluminum. It has a floating switch design with no dedicated media or macro keys, but those can be accessed via the two FN keys. The indicators are simple white LEDs and are at the top right corner of the board, and by default, the first LED represents caps lock, and the next two are for profiles 2 and 3 respectively. In terms of accessories, the Galaxy comes with a plastic dust cover for the board, a rubber USB-A to C cable, and a USB-C to C cable for Mac users. The USB-A cable measures in at 1.8 meters or 5 feet 11 inches, while the other comes in at 1 meter or about 3 feet 4 inches. We also get a wire keycap holder, which is always nice to see, a Velcro cable tie, exchangeable screw-on feet for angle adjustment, and these things. I don't know what those are for. Flipping the board over to its underside, you have 4 rubber strips that prevent sliding on your desk, as well as 2 screwable feet for angle adjustment. However, they're screwed on there pretty tightly, so you may have some difficulty replacing them. Now, the main attraction of this keyboard is that it features a hot swap PCB. HK Gaming has essentially partnered with Durgod to create this board. As a side note, Durgod's keyboards are some of the best in the pre-built market. So when you get Durgod crossed with a hot swap PCB, you get a Durgodsend. That was terrible. Why did I just say that? However, the switch sockets themselves are north-facing, which can lead to potential compatibility issues with Cherry profile keycaps. I would much prefer them to be south-facing, but at least they still support 5-pin switches. As for technical aspects, the Galaxy 75 has onboard memory that can store up to 3 different profiles. It has support for the Durgod Hera software, which is a firmware compiler. I couldn't find any information on N-key rollover, anti-ghosting, or how much onboard memory the board has, so I won't be talking about those as I usually would. The Galaxy has 16.8 million color RGB backlighting with 11 different lighting effects, which I'll show right now. Like I've mentioned earlier, the board is a bare bones kit, meaning keycaps and switches aren't included. You will have to get those separately, so let's talk about what I have here. But first I'll quickly cover the stabs. They come pre-lubed and pre-clipped and have virtually no router or mushiness whatsoever. Much better than what you'd find on a Razer or Corsair. The keycaps are HK Gaming's very own Dye-Sub PBT keycaps in the Marlins colorway. They're very smooth to the touch and actually took me some getting used to. They're in the Cherry profile and measuring at 1.4mm thick. As for switches, I'm rocking Gazoo Boba U4 Thox, or U4Ts for short. They're very tactile switches and won't break the bank either, coming in at 60 cents a switch. Compare that to Drop Holy Pandas, which are $1 a switch and less tactile as well. I would definitely get the U4Ts over Holy Pandas, and you can do so at sites such as Ringer Keys or 3D Keeps, which I'll link down below. Anyway, enough of me rambling, let's get to the sound test. As you may have heard, the board sounded a bit hollow, so what you can do is actually take the board apart and insert your own layer of foam under the PCB. It's a fairly simple and inexpensive mod, so if you feel like doing it, go right on ahead. Make sure to get 1mm thick foam though, as anything thicker isn't gonna fit. Moving over to the Durgod Hera software, it's a bit of a mess. It really isn't the most user-friendly and definitely took me a while to get the hang of. Anyway, you can record macros as well as configure with 3 different onboard profiles. You're able to change what the LED indicators are displaying, change the layout of the board, as well as customize the lighting. After you're done configuring everything you desire, click the download button down here, click this download button, and you're good to go. Everything is downloaded to the keyboard, so you can uninstall the software and use the board at another computer with everything still saved. Now let's talk about pricing. The HK Gaming Galaxy 75 comes in at $100 for just a bare bones board. Definitely a fair price in my opinion, considering its hot swap and a 75% keyboard, with an aluminum chassis and some of the best stock stabilizers I've ever seen in a pre-built. You can even get the board in a bundle that includes one of HK's PBT keycap sets along with their own pre-lubed linear switches, all for $160. That's an even better deal. I'll have everything linked down below. Moving over to pros and cons as well as my final verdict. For pros, I really enjoy the fact that the Galaxy has 5-pin hot swap rather than 3, meaning a wider variety of switch compatibility. I also like that the chassis is made of aluminum rather than plastic. It gives a sense of higher durability, and for a price of $100, it's very much worth it. Next up are the exceptional stock stabilizers. They come pre-lubed and pre-clipped, so they have no mushiness and barely any rattling. And keep in mind, these are plate mount stabs. They still have some ticking, but again, it's already much better than what you would find on most other gaming keyboards out there. Lastly, I appreciate the many different accessories that come inside the box, as most mainstream brands out there don't include anything like this. As for cons, my first gripe would be the north-facing switches. I get that they did this so that there would be no issues with RGB backlighting, but there will be interferences with row 3 cherry profile keycaps. Not really that big a deal to the average user, but as an enthusiast, it's something that bothers me. Next up would be the software. It's gotta be one of the most confusing softwares I have ever used. It took me a day or two to actually learn how to use it, but once I did, it was a piece of cake. I still believe it can be more intuitive though. The angle adjustment feet are screwed on very tightly, so you may have trouble getting them off. I gave up on mine. One more thing I don't like is that the USB-C port here is quite deep with a small hole, so not all cables are gonna fit. Speaking of cables, I wish the Galaxy came with braided ones instead of rubber ones, as they feel more premium. Just a minor nitpick though, nothing deal breaking. So in the end, would I recommend the HK Gaming Galaxy 75? Heckin' yeah, I would. For just $100, you're really getting a lot for what you're paying here. Hot swap sockets, great stabilizers, a durable aluminum case, and many more. For beginners looking to get into custom keyboards, this is a great choice to start with. Obviously it's not perfect, but given its price, it really knocks it out of the park. Great work, HK. Anyway, that'll be it for my review of the HK Gaming Galaxy 75. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like to show your support, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at KingXFOfficial, as well as join my Discord server. I'm KingXF, and I'll see y'all next time.